part of that, so of course, in choosing a spouse, the role of the wali is still there, okay? Yeah, all right? The role of the wali is still there. We should never forget that. All right? Because the guy got to come to him, your daughter, no doubt. And the daughter got to know if somebody approaches her on the job or in school, on campus, or whatever, well, here's my father's number. End of conversation. I'll meet you in the library. We can talk this out a little bit. Days and days and weeks, and then I'll let my dad know. We done already decided. What? That's what happens, man. That's what happened in our society, man, you know, in the world we live in today, man, you know. And we be struggling with that, man, you know. And so it's important that we lay out, you know, for ourselves and our offspring and it's just the people, you know, what Islam teaches us. And what guidelines do they give us? And so the wali is there, okay? Because again, the wali still has, you know, like say if the boy or the brother and the sister meet with the wali, right? Here we go, okay? They sit down with the wali, okay, young man, and he likes him, he likes his religion, and okay, so we agree, you know, we're gonna get married, or we're gonna become intention, right? Intention, not intention. Or the Westerners say, my fiance. So they done sat down and they done agreed, okay, well, you know, they done met and they done sat down with the wali and, you know, and met with the mom and the families and all, that's good. All right? Under no situation today, once they leave those settings and those scenes, I'll call you later. No. This is wrong. See, that's the Western culture. I'll text you. And these are things we grow up in society, you know. And this is what everybody does, but that ain't what we supposed to do. See, I'm trying to pull your coat. How we supposed to do it? You see? And we all can think of situations and scenarios of, you know, going back decades, you know, how we did things, man. Come on. All right, okay, cool. But when you get knowledge, you make adjustments. You change. You see? And when people see you and you see your practice, they say, wow, I like that. I like how you do that. You see? Back in the days, during the time, you know, that my mother and my grandmother was growing up, boy meets girl, he come over to the house. He meet the whole family. There's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. That's cool. That's where it's supposed to be. It's just that the father's just the wali. That's all, but he can come in the mom and they can all sit and have dinner and he can come over many times he want to. And we sitting around and we checking him out. And the brothers are checking him out. Yo, man, I think he, you know, giving it, yeah, no, it's okay. You get to know him like that. But then after they leave, they can't be calling each other and talking to each other and making plans with each other unless it's under the supervision of the wali. That's the role of the wali. So I want to bring that back to focus. So fathers and brothers can understand what they need to do, you know, with their children and grandchildren. You got to let them know and whatnot, okay? And that's how we do it, brothers. Yeah. I was reading some stuff about some of the scholars, and they were saying, you know, how it's very widespread, you know, the practice of you know, with the internet now and online. Yeah, you know, people be dating. They be dating. You know, people be having sex online. What we intended. And what kind of conversation they supposed to be having? You know what I'm saying? That conversation, whatever conversation they should be having should be under the supervision of the wali. Fine. The wali is there. He's supervising it. Allowing them to talk and to get to know each other like that under his supervision. Because when they do it if it's done not under the supervision, then it's private. What did the Prophet say about being alone with a non-mahram woman privately? What did he say? Shaitan is the third, man. We forget that. We think, well, because it's online, it's okay. No. Who know what y'all talking about? I was reading what one of the imams was telling me. One of the imams, you know, several of them, you know, speaking about cases where people, you know, doing things on the phone that they shouldn't be doing. sending each other pictures, each other. Just like the kuffar. Muslims. So these are realities, okay? Okay. So, that private conversation and the texting and the phone and all of that stuff is real. They didn't have that during the time of the Prophet Muhammad, but you're along with that sister. You're along with that brother. You see? So we have to make some changes. We have to make tawbah, make some changes. We make some adjustments and whatnot, and put it back on course. Whatnot. That's why I wanted to give this course, just to get it out there for you to share with you. Okay? And just like the guardian thing we talked about earlier, the wali, whatnot. I go back to it again. And I'll let the sisters and everybody know, if you know of a single convert to Islam. A convert to Islam. And you make sure you advise her, go meet the imam. Go sit with the imam. You put yourself under his guardianship. As all of the ulama say, in the land of the Muslim, the imams of the Islamic centers and the masjids are the wali of the convert sisters. All the sisters don't have no wali. It's dangerous. I don't know how many sisters have become Muslim and they just all over the place. They don't even know what imam. And I was speaking to one of our young brothers, from the subcontinent community, and he said a lot of those imams, they don't give the convert Muslim the time of day. Sisters. So a lot of times the sisters won't even know what a wali is. You see? So we have to school them. We have to tell them and don't appoint yourself to wali. Oh. The imam. Go see the imam. You know what I'm saying? And then the imam will guide her because she's new. She don't know nothing about Islam. She don't know nothing about her rights. And a lot of people have taken advantage of sisters like that. And I know a lot of situations like that. All right? So I'm just throwing that back in because, again, all of this is important in terms of the selection, okay? Another thing that's important to the selection process is compatibility. Compatibility, how compatible, the brother and the sisters are. We have to look for compatibility. That's very important. A lot of the relationships, there's some turmoil from some of the writings and the lectures of some of the scholars. The issue of, compatibility, man. People, they ain't compatible, man. They're on different pages, okay? It doesn't mean they got to be like carbon copies of each other, but they got certain likes, certain dislikes, certain aspirations. They alhamdulillah, all of these things are important. Okay, so Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, she said, this is what Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her. She said, choose well for your offspring. Okay. Marry women who are compatible to you, and marry your daughters to them who are compatible. That's Aisha. Ibn Majah, Al-Albani, said it is a Hasan hadith. Compatible. Okay? Well, of course, the question comes, what is compatibility? What is compatibility? Where does compatibility start? I ask you. If I want to, huh? What do you say? Taqwa and? Character. You say deen, character, alhamdulillah, taqwa, character, yeah. That's where it starts. Her religion, his religion, we're compatible. Okay? He's in the deen, but she doesn't. He's nice, but she doesn't wear hijab. She don't wear hijab. She wants to hit the floor, and she wears tight clothes. That doesn't appear to be very religious. But he's going to Jummah regularly, making this salat, so he meets her because she's nice. Look, he wants to marry her. You see what I'm saying? But hey, wait a minute. But you're serious about the deen. And she's not. So that's gonna be a problem unless she makes tawbah, unless she change. Okay? So that's where it starts. Two people want to meet each other, want to marry each other. So the foundation is there. We believe in Allah. We feel Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our religion. Our character. Those things are very important in terms of the selection process. So that's where compatibility starts. Deen and character. And then secondary to that, the age. age, you know what I'm saying? And so they, you know, if the girl is young and the guy too old, you know what I'm saying? Well, sometimes it can be a problem or whatnot. He old, he Allah. So he can't hang with her. She's ready to roll. He's a young, handsome guy. He gets, you know, he's too old. He can't move and do the things she wants to do, and she wants to play, and you know, subhanAllah. You know, so can he handle it? Can he accommodate that and whatnot? You know, they talk, you know, under the guidance, you know, of the guardian. You know, like, you know, I want to get my master's degree, and you know, I want to get a PhD in this particular science and so forth and so on. And he said, oh, I ain't got no problem with that. And, you know, and I want to do that too. We can go to school. Okay, well, you know, so what's your view on education? What's your views on Islamic education? I want to learn Arabic, and, you know, I want to go to conferences. What's your, you know, you got to hash it out. You know, what's your attitude about having children, and how many, you know, in the future, and those kind of, we're going to hash it out. Where we going to live? What community we're going to be a part of? You see, that's major too. You know, they don't even discuss that. What community? What masjid? What Islamic organization? What Jamaat? You know, who's your favorite imam? Yeah. Oh, let's go join him and give him our bay'ah and our commitment. Imam, what you want us to do? So we be under his supervision. We don't talk about those things that matter. So when we have problems, we go to the imam. It's not even a question who you go to. Who wasn't the imam? We go to the imam. Nobody feels uptight having an imam that can sit with us. We need that here in America, man. We need that, man. Sisters, man, brothers, we all need to be accountable. So when there's a problem, I ain't going to no imam. That's usually what your brothers say. In any abusive relationship, you understand, they ain't attached. And the sister want to go seek some counsel. You see what I'm saying? I ain't sitting with them imams. I know more than them. He may have got a degree in Medina, but I ain't heard imams. Because if you're part of the community and you're accountable, you'll sit with the imam. Oh, yeah. You sit with the imam. Oh, yeah. You have no problem. Oh, yeah. So those things have to be hashed out. Oh, yeah. Rather than shopping around, you know, what imam, if I go to, he don't even know me. So how can he deal with my situation? SubhanAllah, man. It's rough, man. These are some things that I see, and I'm talking from experience, man. I'm talking from experience, brother. You know, just sharing with you so we can, wow, okay, and share with others. You know, you share my experience with some of the things I'm saying to you. You know what I'm saying? So people can get benefit from it. Right? So the compatibility issue is a very serious one. You know, and to understand and know each other's, you know, views on different things, and you know, alhamdulillah, you know. You have to talk about those things, you know, before you get married, and feel each other. Are we compatible? Everybody understand what I'm saying? Yeah, we understand this? Yes, sir. Yeah, subhanAllah. Yeah, these things we bypass. You know, our goals, you know, our ambitions. You know what I'm saying? You know, our likes and our dislikes, etc. All of this is part of, you know, being compatible with your spouse. Yeah, you know, my husband, he boring. He don't want to do nothing. I like to do. So your family's going this way and that way. You look at the companions of the Prophet, they was all on the same page. I mean, they wasn't exactly the same. They wasn't compatible in everything, but they was on the same page in terms of movement. In terms of deen, they were established deen. You know, they were with Allah and His messenger. You know, their goals and ambitions with Allah and message of establishing Allah, deen. We don't do that today. We don't encourage that. You see, we allow ourselves, you know, to get lost in nothingness. You know, nothing, man. Nothing in terms of dawah, nothing in terms of organized dawah, nothing in terms of building communities and Jamaat. So our children can look at and want to connect with and be a part of and carry it on to the next generation. It's sad. Okay, so, compatibility, inshallah. Y'all okay? Yeah, y'all. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, alhamdulillah, man. Yeah, I'm trying to cover it all, man, you know. And I already mentioned, you know, again, the hadith of Fatima bint Qais, you know, Sahih Muslim hadith, she came to the Prophet, you know, and about the two brothers, you know. The Prophet said, no, forget about them. There's some character flaws, but marry Usama. And that happened to be a compatible relationship, obviously. Okay. Hadith by Jabir Abdullah. Again, we're talking about the selection process, no? When he got married, and he came to the Prophet, and the Prophet ﷺ said, "You got married?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Why didn't you marry a virgin?" I said, "Wow. Who can play with you and you with her? And she laughs with you and you'll laugh with her." Bukhari. See? I mean, subhanAllah. You know, you marry somebody young and playful that you can play with, she can play with. That's part of compatibility, man. You want to play, but she don't want to play. Can you imagine? All right? You want to do some things, and he don't want to. And vice versa, we go back and forth. At least in something, not everything. Everybody got their own preferences and need their own space. But at least in some things, we agree we're gonna do this together. All right, that's the idea. All right. And so he said, "Why didn't you marry a virgin? You know, because virgin they're easy. They're easier to satisfy. And and they're very playful and whatnot. You see, and of course." Jabir, he told the Prophet, he said, "Well, look, man, my mom passed away and she left a bunch of kids. I got a bunch of siblings. So I need a wife that's going to help me, you know what I'm saying, with my sisters and brothers to raise them." So check that out, okay? I'm a mature woman rather than I don't need a virgin. I got all my siblings. I got to take care. Look at this here. And what the Prophet ﷺ said, "You made the right decision then." See, I didn't know that. See? So the virgin in whatever context or circumstances that happen, you can do that. Okay, alhamdulillah. But here's a situation where Jabir said, "Hey, I couldn't do that, man. That'd have been selfish. Me, marrying a virgin girl, I can go play, but my siblings, man, they ain't got nobody to mother them and help raise them. So I had to marry an older woman who's mature that can help me with the kids, man." It's amazing, man. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, that was the right position. He said, you made the right position. Alhamdulillah, all right. Alhamdulillah. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Marry women who are loving and can bear children, many children, because I will boast of your numbers on Qiyamah." Again, we're still dealing with the issue of selection. Okay? And again, like I said, the selection process, the choice of a husband, the choice of a woman, should be under the supervision, of the wali, whatnot. No private meetings. It's not good. But you can meet as much as you can, as many times as you want to, at the house of the wali. All right, we're gonna get married 2 months from now, okay? After we done agreed, okay. Then you get permission from the wali. Come over on the weekend, y'all have dinner together. Understand? Because you're under the supervision. You're not. Here's the underlining hadith. When a man and a woman is alone, shaitan is the third party. You see? So you want to give them some room, some leeway that they can, talk and whatnot. In a mature way, alhamdulillah, in decent conversation and whatnot, in terms of their future, what they want, so forth and so on. There's a way to do that and whatnot. It can't be alone. Like some of the stuff that we see going on. Another point that's important too in seeking a spouse, seek advice. Like Fatima bin Qais, she came to the Messenger of Allah. So seek advice. If you're looking at a sister looking at a brother, seek advice from people that may know this person. Right? Or even if you don't know this person, just seek advice. What do you think? I'm thinking about marriage, and I need, seek advice. Consult. Consult knowledgeable people. People got knowledge. Consult your parents. That's something we very rarely do. You see? Consult your parents first. In fact, that's what you should consult first. I wish my kids would come to me first. They see somebody they like. I want them to come to me. All of us want them. They should see, young men should go to their fathers. Abu. We have forgot all about that. Sisters should go to their mothers. Umi, what do you think? I seen a brother. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide. Subhanallah. Hey, man. You got to talk this thing up. Mistakes are being made because people are going on their own. The old school, the way some of us, our parents and grandparents were raised was different, man. We consulted. Then there's aunts you can consult. And other seniors in the community. And this is for brothers and sisters. You know, we don't have to let our egos get in the way. Help us with our choices, okay? Our choices is very, very important, okay? And so once a suitable mate is found, as we mentioned before, you know, meetings and seeing must be under the supervision of the wali, okay? All right, and so keep in mind that, you know, sending photographs, you know, there's no need for that. If one sees the person you want to marry, once they see, because the Prophet said, if you want to marry someone, you should see that person. And so I gave you an example. You know, you can see them at their house. It wasn't in society the way we live today. No, you just, alhamdulillah, when you contact a brother, alhamdulillah. I've experienced that over the years. Brothers call me and interest my friend. Alhamdulillah, Allah, but come on, let me see you at the mosque. And you know, alhamdulillah. Okay. And so that's how we should proceed. You know, this should be done with integrity, you know, and being transparent, you know, so that the intentions, you know, won't get, you know, messed up, okay? So staging pictures, we don't need to do that, you know, online or otherwise. We go meet the family straight up, and the household, alhamdulillah. And so, alhamdulillah, like all of the scholars say, meeting on the internet is not permissible, man. It's not permissible. Because that's private. That's how they rule on it, inshallah. So I'm just sharing that with you, okay? So, you know, tell your kids, man, let them know. Let them know, man. Okay? Again, the Prophet said when a man and a woman is alone, shaitan is the third party in there, okay? And last of all, in terms of selection, make istikhara. You know, all the scholars, you know, and all of the marriage books, they say make istikhara once you know, you're trying to make that decision, make the istikhara. Allah to guide you in your decision. And don't be afraid, you know, and don't be hesitant or reluctant to repeat the istikhara. You did it once and you can't seem to be clear on what you should do, then make it again. You know, make istikhara, then consult people. Consult people, make istikhara. Keep doing it until you're certain, ready to roll. Allah guide you.